I don't know who needs to hear this, but I wish I heard this when I was younger. But dating apps are not it. Um, Honestly, they, not to be dramatic or anything, but they are ruining your life in one shape or another. Because, in my opinion, so just some backstory on me. I think I started using dating apps when I was, I don't know, 15 or 16. I'm 26 now. And when they first came out, it was like a novelty. It was pretty good, honestly. Uh, for the most part, you would have conversations, people would ask you questions, all that. It felt like you were actually just trying to date, but online. But fast forward to 2024, and damn, things are different. They're more different than I could have ever imagined. And honestly, at this point, you're better off just deleting them and just going outside. I know a lot of people say like, "Oh, touch grass, go outside." You know, do something better than like being inside, but nothing wrong with that. I'm a little more introverted, if I had to be honest with myself. That's something I'm starting to like really own in and appreciate about myself. Growing up, kind of just talking about myself or what, I was just like, people don't want to really listen to that or da da da. And it was about self confidence issues and so forth. But going back to dating, um, yeah, no reason to, honestly. One, um, more guys than girls on there. So if you're a guy, statistically, you're already kind of screwed. Um, you have to like really stand out, and it's superficial. You gotta have your photos and everything kind of curated in a way to where like people are gonna rock with your profile. And the more you give that thought, it's honestly kind of sad because people only really value for how you look. And I don't know. I'm not ugly. I wouldn't say I'm like a supermodel or anything. I'm not super tall either, but I think my dating kind of history has just been kind of up and down. I think college, it was pretty hard. Girls around my age, I hear that it's kind of tough to, usually girls on average, in my opinion, like men that are older than them because they have more experience and so forth. And as I get older, and I'm only 26, um, yeah, I can see why. I feel like women just mature a little bit quicker than men. Um, and it kind of takes you a while to really get your footing. Like even now, I still live with my parents. I'm trying to move out this summer with a friend of mine, but I live in California, and rent ain't cheap here. If you haven't heard, or if you're watching this out of the country, yeah, California is brutal, super competitive. I went to the beach earlier today with my friend, and it was off Malibu, and we were looking at like some of the houses, and we're like, yeah, this is easily like a $15 million home. It's absurd. I don't even think I can even reach that anytime soon. Like that's such a foreign thing to me, even a house or anything. Like I feel like I'm going to be renting for quite a while. I honestly don't know when I could really get a house, to be honest. And that kind of segues into dating too, because living at your parents' house, newsflash, is not awesome. It's very hard to really like build a connection with someone, and then you may go on a date or two, and then you want to bring them back to your place, but place being your parents. So if like most people around my age that are living with their parents, or kind of struggling a little bit, online dating is kind of a joke. It's a lot of bots on there. A lot of people don't really have your best interest in heart. Um, some of the stuff I used to use on Tinder and Bumble, it was sad. Like I didn't really get too many matches, and even the ones I would get, they would be like a message or so, and it just kind of ends. And you wonder, like, yeah, I'm probably not the only person who's feeling this way in terms of, I don't know, how apps kind of function and stuff. But yeah, it's completely flipped the dating game on its head. 180 flip around. Like, I try to talk with my parents about it or my relatives, and they just can't really comprehend how hard it is. Even when you go out, in my opinion, a lot, at least in the US, I feel like the culture is a lot more isolationist. Like, I think the camera's a little crooked. Whoops, my bad. Sorry about that, guys. But to continue that train of thought, like, not as many people are really open and friendly with you. Kind of going about my day. People don't really maintain eye contact. Everyone's just kind of in a rush. Like, it's like, oh, if you see someone, they're kind of just in your way of you going about your day, and you don't really, this may be a little more pessimistic, but I honestly believe like it just kind of trickled into dating. And if I was a guy that was like 18, 19, I think honestly you would have a better shot at just deleting the apps, doing stuff that you really enjoy, like hobbies or spending quality time with your friends and just being more present. Because the dating apps, like, when you list out the pros and cons, is there really any pros? The only thing I could think of is like convenience, but you get no results. And if you do, even if you get matches, how many of them are leading to in-person dates where you met the person, you're like, yep, I can see myself going on multiple dates with them, or, even having a relationship. I don't know. I always hear statistics that divorce is high, not as many people getting married or staying in relationships. I have a really close friend of mine who's married, and it's interesting kind of getting his perspective on things. And he's younger than me. He's got a wife and kid. So that is kind of messes me up a little bit in terms of like, whoa, time is weird. And with dating too, like, just, stop with the apps. Because if you think about it, like, you're spending your time on there. These companies really don't care if you find love. Like, you'll just be on there for hours, days, weeks, months. Got to pay the subscription too, so you could be shown to more people. That not as many girls are really on these apps. And even if it's like someone that's very highly attractive, like Chad or Pookie, as I hear online. Funny names, but like, it kind of paints the picture like the odds are stacked against you as a guy. And I haven't even talked about girl stuff in terms of like their perspective on things. Because at least when I ask like girls that I've met, and if this topic come across and like, oh, how's dating for you and stuff, most of them don't really like dating apps at all. Like, it's just a hellscape. So if they're not really liking it, and then guys aren't striking out, what's the point? If you're really on there for a hookup or whatever, take it from me, you're going to find out it's really not that fulfilling. And it just comes down to you like wanting pleasure. And when you're in pursuit of pleasure, not a lot of things can happen that are good. Maybe in the moment it feels nice, but then when you kind of reflect and you look back on it, and you're like, well, none of those really turn into like fulfilling like relationships that enriched one's life. Maybe you get experiences and you can date better. Not saying everything with dating is bad, but in regards to online dating, hell no. Even Hinge. And it's crazy because when you go onto the app store for these apps, you just filter by recent reviews, and you will just see so many 1-star reviews of like, I got banned for no reason, Hinge did this to me, Tinder, blah, blah, blah. Like, some people thought you're like a bot. Usually that happens to girls. It's like, and you kind of think about this, how it trickles down to, I don't know, like the average guy or average girl. It is really hard. Like, I'm not even shocked that people are struggling with this. And I wanted to give my thoughts on this because I don't know how this is going to look in a couple of years. Is it going to get better? I'm trying to put myself out there more and like I don't know, go to stuff that my friends are doing. And, hey, if I find someone there, cool. It kind of happened that way. But if nothing happens, that's fine too. Kind of going with that mentality, because when I was younger, I was like, well, my friends have girlfriends and stuff. Why don't I? Like, I feel kind of left out, which is a really bad mentality. And you just get depressed going that way, to be honest. But yeah, I can't imagine how to, like, if you're a 16-year-old dude to like 20 or 21, it's probably really hard. You may have like something here and there, but you're competing against guys that are like 5 to 8 years older than you. And you don't really notice that as you get older, and you're like, holy shit, these guys have so much progress on me, or like just, progressing in life, whatever, how you view that. And it's hard to compete. I mean, you can kind of talk in person, and I think that's the best way, because, you're just trying to be confident, good eye contact, and talking to someone. You'll have a way better chance than swiping like 100 times if you're doing free version on like Bumble or Tinder. And even then, these apps, like, I saw somewhere that like Bumble try to like do a brand thing to where it's like the whole fundamental reason why their app was made, it was to cater to women, and now they're like putting it in the role of men. I'm like, yeah, no wonder you guys are losing like a ton of money. It's just not feasible. Dating apps really suck, and I really hope to anyone that does see this and gets to this point, like, I hope my experiences on this subject can help you feel a little bit better about deleting them. Because I know, like, now it's like maybe 50% of people meet on dating apps, but it's like, what's the age group? What's the demographic? What's the context there? I don't know. It's not really a good use of your time, to be honest. Why not exercise? Why not join a class? Why not be more social and go out and talk to girls in person from a guy's perspective? Because that's the only thing I could really speak onto here with confidence. And yeah, even if you get matches too, it's like a validation thing. You're like, oh, someone likes me. But then, like, I've matched with attractive girls before, and no message. I'll reach out, dead silence. So I'm like wondering, like, do they like me in the moment, or are they just, because I've seen from my friends like phones of dating apps, and it's got to be overwhelming. You see, like, if you're a really attractive girl, you may have like 40 to 50 chats. And I'm like, if I ever had that, I wouldn't even know who to talk to. Who should I? It's like, there's a thing, something with what's the word I'm looking for? The dilemma of choice, or something along the lines of that. Probably screwed up the meaning, but it's like, if you have maybe 30 flavors to choose from instead of 5, you're going to have a really hard time choosing from 30. But you know what's even crazy? We're not even talking about ice cream. We're talking about human beings who have their own life experiences, different ways of life, beliefs. But most people won't even get to that part, because it's like, at the end of the day, it's how you look that kind of gets your foot in the door. And some people really can get stuck up on that, to where it's like, yep, like these black pill communities are like, yeah, you're screwed if you're ugly. Which, to be fair, I think depending on how beauty standards are and how most women want to date, it's kind of hard for like a below average guy looks wise to have dating success. But I'm not about that defeatist mentality. You gotta just keep going. I don't even care. Like, find some way. There's always something in your control besides your looks, like fitness. I feel like for me, fitness has helped me out a ton in terms of just confidence, your health, just everything under it gives you a really good foundation in life. So spend that time more than dating apps for sure. I bet you would have great returns doing that rather than just sitting on your phone swiping and wasting time away and just not feeling great doing it. I don't even remember the last time someone told me, it was like, yeah, I had a really fun time on Tinder last night, just swiping. It was really joyful. I can't wait to do it again. Most people when they're swiping on apps is because they're feeling lonely. because these apps just want you to feel lonely and then pay their premium. I've even done that before. I've paid like the high tier, and you kind of do get a little more engagement, which is messed up because it's like pay to win. And when I first was on these apps, it wasn't like that. It was like, ugh. It's pretty simple. It was free, and you just kind of swipe and you would match, and it was like a novelty for a dating app. But now it's so jacked up. So that's kind of my thoughts on it at this time. Maybe some future videos I'll elaborate on this a little bit more, but it's been about maybe a month since I deleted apps, and I've seen like a noticeable change in just kind of like the thoughts that go into my head or day to day. Like I rather spend time like playing games, watching YouTube, read a book or something, like going on a walk. Like you'll be really surprised at how much a walk can make you feel better after doing it. Like you'll probably feel crap when you start and you're like, oh, I don't want to do it, I'm feeling lazy. But trust me, after you're done with it, you'll feel some sense of accomplishment, and that's better than spending your time on dating apps. So 4th of July just happened, so if you're in the US, happy 4th, and thanks for watching. Peace.